So a woman who likes men that actually act like men. Imagine that. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a TikTok video that has gone viral of a woman out there in Los Angeles complaining about not being able to find a man who is masculine and plays the masculine role in relationships, who is not a conservative. She's a liberal, strong and independent, hear me roar, feminist, all this, that, and the third. And I guess she wants a man who shares some of those same values, right? But the problem she's facing is the guys that share these values are soft in other areas and they're not really doing it for her. That's what I'm pretty much gathering, okay? And before I go any further, let's go ahead and get into it. There's going to be two clips. The first one is going to be her talking about what's happening with dating out there in LA, liberal, conservative. Then she's going to do a follow-up. She may have found what she's looking for, perhaps. Then we're going to get into an article from a few years ago that ties all this stuff home. Now, also, do not harass this lady. Keep all the comments, positive or negative, right here on this video. And if you want to see that video in full, link will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Do you want to know one of the saddest realizations I recently had? Was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age, who is not a conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and to provide, who is not a conservative. And obviously, as a liberal woman, I do want to be respected for my independence. And I do want to have my own autonomy in the relationship and not be confined or conform to the traditional female homemaker, childbearing role. And most of the men that I've dated who do have that more natural provider masculinity about them are normally conservative. So I don't really know what to do because I don't want to compromise my morals and values just to find a man. But am I asking to have my cake and eat it too?
Okay, there's a lot to quote unquote unpack here, as the cool kids say. First of all, if you're listening to the video and not watching it, she was putting little things in captions as she was talking on the screen that she didn't say. Okay, you see one right here. It says, "Am I asking too much here to somewhat be equal, yet have a man provide and take care of me to some extent?" Okay, you all over the place right there. You hemming and hawing, not really getting to the point. You want the guy to be protector, provider, pay the bills, take care of everything, do all the traditional male stuff that men have done throughout the entire history of man. That's what you want. But at the same time, you want to be Miss Independent, do your own thing. You want to be a modern woman while the guy has to be completely traditional. This is kind of the conundrum a lot of women find themselves in nowadays. They don't want to do anything that is traditional themselves, but the guy has to be 100% traditional, or at least traditional in ways that they want. Meaning he can't tell you what to do, but he's got to provide for everything. He can't keep you in the house barefoot, pregnant, but he's got to go out there, break his back, work, and bring all the money home to you. So it's like, what do? You don't want to cook, you don't want to clean, you don't want to have no kids, you don't want to be traditional, you want to be non-monogamous, you want to do all this stuff, while the guy goes out there and can't do anything that's more modern in, the relationship. Splitting the bill should be a thing, right? You got your own money, right? Why must a guy take care of you? You're strong and independent, right? I don't understand. You do want your cake and you want to eat it too. You want it to be one way, but it's the other way. Now let's go back a little bit more in the video because there was more little things that she was talking about here. She says, "FYI, I can do with a moderate, but a hard, staunch Republican. I don't know if I could do it." Well, what does that even mean? What is your particular viewpoints on the world? I don't really understand what that means, hard, staunch Republican, because you might think I'm a hard, staunch Republican because I say that maybe we shouldn't have drag queen story time. You be the type mom that have a baby and take her to see some 65-year-old man, dressed like a woman, flashing your little kids. You'll be that type. And when I say let's not do that, then you want to Nick Mercs me and get me fired. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this guy, Nick Mercs, I think he's a Call of Duty professional player. there was a package that Call of Duty made for him in the game that you can purchase, accessories, equipment, or whatever, and they removed that because he said on Twitter, leave the kids alone when it comes to LGBT. That right there makes him a hard staunch Republican. So my point is, what are we talking about exactly? Who are you and what do you want? Let's go back a little bit more here. And it's funny, TikTok for some reason has a little warning right here. You can't see it, but it says participating in this activity could result in you or others getting hurt. I don't know how, but I digress. Let's pause right here. Oh, here's one that I wanted to mention. All these men out here wanting to split the bill on the first date, exclamation mark times 4. What? Yeah, that's what you want, right? You want to be strong, independent, modern, all this, that, and the third. All right, well, let's split the bill. Let's go Dutch. You know, now, if you don't want that, then, all right, well, here I am. I'm Mr. Conservative. I'll pay for everything. I'll be the provider, protector, but you got to play your part. You can't be Mr. Independent, doing whatever you want to do while I do everything that I have done throughout history. But I'm getting triggered. There's one more video here from her, and I guess she has had some success. Now, this video was titled Dating a Progressive Who is Also Traditional. Make that make sense. That's an oxymoron if I ever heard of it. Okay. But, and the caption right here on the bottom says, so this is for all the trolls that commented on my last video. And again, do not harass this person. Leave all your comments, positive or negative, right here on this video that you're watching right now, not on her channel.
So this is for all the trolls that commented on my last video. Listen the fuck up. And to the thousands.
Okay, why do we got to be cussing? You're like, see, right there, automatically I'm turned off. I would never. Like, if you asking ABL, would I? I'm cool. I'm good. I'm seeing red flags all the way around. All right.
You that said that I wouldn't find a progressive man who's also conservative in some way.
In the bed, you know, kind of. I can see what you're going to be doing right now. You're going to get married and lay around all day eating while the guy is going out there breaking his back. And then once you get bored of the situation, you're going to file for divorce and then take a big bag of money with you. That's what's going to happen. I already see what's going to happen here. So guys that are watching this, man, beware. But let's continue. I think she found somebody.
Well, guess motherfucking what? Your girl went on a date last night with literally a guy who's conservative in some ways, but also very progressive in others. So he's progressive in ways like wanting police reform, caring about social justice issues, also feeling the need to take care of the home and help his wife cook, clean, take care of the kids. He's pro-life, he's pro-trans, and he supports the LGBTQ community.
So how's he conservative? That right there is a liberal. So how's he conservative? Let's see what lie he told you to get up in the pants.
But he's also conservative in ways that he likes his guns. He wants to provide financially for his girlfriend or wife. He takes that gentleman role seriously, so he's very chivalrous. So basically, he's progressive in all. So
basically, you found that guy that don't mind spending money, you know, and he has a gun. That's all. Is that so? That is enough to make him conservative? That's crazy. That's totally crazy.
Social issues, yet he's very traditional in wanting to provide and take care of his family and his wife and take care of her needs, make sure that she's treated, make sure that she's well taken care of.
Look, if you want a sugar daddy, just say that. Just say that, man. Like, why we got to go through all this political conservative and liberal, all this and that? You know, all of that, man, you know what? It just kind of boiled down to the money. I said it before on other issues. You know, people talk about all this morality stuff and I'm super moral and you're the bad guy, I'm the good guy. But then when the money gets involved, all of a sudden, that goes out the window. Okay, you would be with Donald Trump himself if he gave you enough money. Keep it all the way funky. Because all I'm hearing about is money, 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 money. That was the case in the first video. Oh, you got to pay on the date. You got to take care of me. Same thing here. He provides for his girlfriend, provides for his wife, and he has a gun. So he's conservative. What?
Yeah, basically, and that's exactly what I've been looking for. So hope it works.
Yeah, hope it works out. All righty, there we go. Yeah, I think maybe some guy saw you on IG and was like, or TikTok and was like, you know what? Let me just try to get up in there. I got some money. Let's go ahead and just make it happen. That's my opinion, but let's keep on moving here. Now, here's an article from a few years ago that I remember. This was hilarious. It says, help, I can't stop hooking up with Trump supporters. Now, I'm not going to read the entire article. I'll link to it in the box if you guys want to see it. But this kind of wraps it up a little bit. Let's check it out. When someone asks about my worst hookup, I have plenty of options to choose from, but I inevitably end up telling the same story. It's the one where I started arguing with a Trump supporter at a bar, and then before I knew it, I was waking up the next morning in his bedroom. There were flags everywhere. Ronald Reagan's face was emblazoned on one of them. Don't Tread Me made an appearance on another. I said it was the worst, not because the sex was bad, but because, well, see above. Now, I don't want to get into all the rest of what she said, but here's the point. I think this is the same thing that the lady that we just saw in the TikTok was dealing with. You like the experience you get from the conservative guy. Matter of fact, let me come back so you can see me clearly. You like the conservative guy experience. You enjoy the time you had together. The chemistry is there. You're a biological woman, biological man. Biology is at play. The sparks are flying. Chemistry is there. But your little hamster wheel brain is saying, oh, I should be offended because he's a conservative. So you don't like that part, but you do like him. This is the same thing that I think the lady was going through on TikTok. Oh, well, I like the conservative guys. They're attractive. They're handsome. They're masculine. Biologically, physically, we are on the same page, but I can't get past my brainwashing from kindergarten where I was told about all this LGBTQ, LMNP, Black Lives Matter stuff. That's what's going on. So what do? I'm going to just get with the guy who has the most money. And then I could just put all my stuff aside and say, well, I'm chilling. I'm laying in the bed at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, getting fat. I'm happy. That's kind of what I see. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to all the people, male, female, who understand what they want and don't let weird, ridiculous nonsense get in the way. Shout out to you guys. And shout out to those that understand basically what I'm talking about. You have biological imperatives. In any relationship, when you're talking about romantic, it's going to be a masculine and feminine. Even in same-sex relationships, it's the same thing. You see it all the time. You see one kind of, more scruffy person. Like say you got two women. One person going to be a little bit more masculine appearing and the other more feminine. That's usually how it is. Usually. And it's okay because that's biology coming into play. Even when it's a thing that isn't normal biologically, you're still going to revert some kind of way to what makes sense biologically. It's got to be, it can't be two masculine people or two feminine. Usually it's going to be a clash. There's going to be a problem. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How you feel about the young lady talking about wanting a progressive conservative? And how do you feel about the guy she actually went on a date with, who she says is what she was looking for? Okay, he's liberal in every way, but he has a gun and he pays. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I mean, this is 2023, ain't it? That's kind of what the young guys are dealing with. That's not really my problem at this particular point. I kind of have ascended beyond that, but I understand what's going on out here. And a lot of women are going to be upset when they realize that the liberal ideology that they've been aligned with for a long time doesn't really work out too well in their personal lives. Now, I'm not saying if you're conservative, it's going to be perfect, but ultimately you're going to be more satisfied in your life if you just go with what makes sense, go with what has been done throughout the entire history of man. When you try to reinvent the wheel, the car doesn't really run too well. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.